All right, is this working? That's the question. What's up, friends? Damax EXPI really trying to get the audio dialed in. It's been a little bit of funkiness lately, and I can't tell if it sounds like it's still in a echo chamber or not. I want to do some charting. If you're new to the channel, again, I apologize. Still working on some of the kinks with some of the recording devices, but trying to get the audio right. So going to tinker with it and then start some drawing. Skip ahead if you're listening, and you'll hear when we get started. I'll make sure to do a proper introduction. Hopefully this doesn't take more than a few minutes. Trying to see if anybody's around to help me out, connect the audio, make sure it looks good. So, any confirms audio appreciated. I apologize for the lag. Trying to get the audio right. I apologize. It's been a little bit of a struggle. It seems that yeah, can you hear me well though? I want people to be able to hear it well. Not sound like it's in an echo chamber. Not sound like it's just wrong. Because I know people who listen to this later are going to be like, oh, it sounded wrong. I'll hear the never ending bejesus out of it. Got the microphone in. But can you hear me loud and clear? Oh, you can hear me perfect on your phone. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me perfect, because if that is the case, awesome. I apologize. Again, tinkering with this stuff and moving it to my big computer versus my trading, or I want to draw on my trading computer so you guys can kind of see what I'm going through, what I'm drawing, versus my recording computer. I don't want to use that thing anymore, honestly. I'd rather go to this. My tower has the capacity to handle all this at once. It's just I've got so many screens. I'm ordering some new 10.8. So if you're looking in, there's black bars on the side and you're watching on a laptop or a TV or something, that'll get fixed later. The problem is this screen right here is 1620 or 1600 by what is it, 1200? Let me see if I can yeah, because I think that's the problem. Unfortunately, it just is what it is. These screens are just what they are. I think it's sounding normal as per last night. If I happen to notice anything, I'll let you know. Okay. How do you adjust? Yeah, it's the problem with this particular computer, this monitor, is it's 1600 by 1200. I can't change it unless there's another setting that'll allow me to be better for the computers, if somebody knows this stuff. As of right now, it's just native. It is what it is. So, all right. If you guys can hear me, I don't want to waste much more time on this. I appreciate everybody, and I'll start it proper again. This is the Damax EXPI Realty, Ticket Trading Agent, and this is just a live charting update. I wanted to show you folks kind of how I build the charts from day to day. And again, on my trading computer, honestly, this is where it's all at. Yeah, it says please check the video resolution. Its current is 1064 by 1800. I don't know how to get rid of that bar because I can see my end. Let me see if I change the resolution, if it'll do anything. Probably not. Probably not. Where's the screens? Why is my brain just not working today? There it is, display monitor. If we change it to that, does that look better for the YouTube feed? Oh, it went, no, it doesn't. Revert back. Is this live or recorded live? This is recorded live. This is me trying to mess with this. Again, I'm switching computers to my main computer where I actually do all my drawing. My recording computer doesn't have all my charts. People know I've got 8 monitors. 7 on this one, but then I have another one that I'm using off of, and you can see the setups. All these are too tall. These are all square, but they're all 1620 by whatever 1200. I'm getting some new 1920 by 1080 monitors. I hate the bars on the side for people watching it, but if you're on your phone, cool, whatever. Because the key here is to be able to watch this and really dial into it, but we'll just do it what it is, and people will figure it out. As long as the audio's sweet and works, that's all that matters. So, what are all those? Yeah, people are just hitting me up here trying to get in. If everybody's here, I'm gonna get started. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, there might not be a lot of people. It's a Sunday. I don't surprise, but as most of y'all know, that I kind of think of this like anything. You gotta love the charts. You gotta love the hard work that it takes to know that you know. Know that you know. And I'm gonna always start in the orders of the things that I think kind of matter, which go to like bonds and the VIX, the indexes. Then I'll zap into some of the mega tech names. At this point, if everybody can hear me, I'm just gonna get going. And apologize again. People do a channel, I'll get this figured out. This is me messing around with some of the recording stuff. I'm not a tech person. I'm a trader, real estate agent, real estate investor. This is me just kind of tinkering with this stuff, and people have helped me along the way. So I've been doing your learning series, amazing content. Yeah, I appreciate the feedback. I tell people this stuff is, forged in steel and hammered out. Anything that you've done to make mistakes, I've done the same. Probably a dozen times. I tell people that. It's like, just survive. Just survive. All right. Since there's not many people here, we're just going to get going here. People can watch this live. TLT. I put my notes. Watch this zone. If you're not familiar with why the zone is, I guess I can really bounce around here. Fortunately, I wish I could go like screen to screen real quick, and that's where I'm going to add different screens at some point, so I can just... Actually, I guess I could do it while the recording is going live. Let me see if it's easy to do real quick. Audio capture. Can I switch screens to... Let's try this one. Nope, wrong one. So this one. There it is. There's the monthly. Can y'all see the monthly? So here's the monthly for me. And again, I've been watching this 112. Here's the low, 108s. If you go back in time, this is why I love drawing these rectangles. You can see there's support and resistance here. This is the low end of the range. I don't think we're going to go much lower, meaning rates higher near term, unless inflation blows out. So just keep that in mind. Watch this area. And now when you go back to the daily, now that I know that I can easily bounce around, it's display 7. Perfect. Go back to display 5. Hopefully you guys can see that. Perfect. The next zone of resistance, because again, it looks like we've got buyers down here. And this tells me that actually the market is bona fide terrified potentially of what's coming up. People think inflation is going to peak, which... Now, again, do we really know that for a fact? That's not really the point here. I mean, again, I anticipate a recession. So if it's coming, which it is, it's a bear market. Inflation leads to a recession every time. Who is it talking about? It's, Josh, whatever his name, on Fast Money pulled this stat out, and he's right. And I've noticed that too. Anytime inflation gets over 5%, CPI gets over 5%, and a recession follows. Think about why it leads, right? People can't continue to cover the cost, pay for things, whatever you want to call it. Cost of living does not catch up. Well, prices will reset in time, and the consumer will get wage increases, and it'll stick around, probably. But what's the first move here? It's probably going to be what? TLT rising. Because if you go look at now 2008, let me pull you back to that, because I think this is where... This is nice. I can bounce around screen time. I can just, instead of going from like chart to chart on like changing it from here, I can just go screen to screen. You notice something very obvious. If you look at 2008, you had this like higher rates and then screamed lower, right? TLT ripped. Can y'all see that? I know now. Again, I know I need to zoom in a little bit because this is barred off from the side. But bonds probably gonna rip higher. Safety, right? Now at a certain point, you have to think about it. The market goes from risk on to just preserve capital. Is that clear how that works? The Feds, what do you think the best way to get interest rates down? And I'm not talking about the Fed funds target rate, which I got into someone on Twitter who tried to pretend to do a thought experiment who asked to me a stupid question because I think the question is very obvious. The Fed funds rate is different than the floating treasury rates. Person has 177,000 people following them and doesn't know the difference. That boggles my mind, but whatever. Good luck for them. I mean, they must be really good at social media influencing. I'm not. I don't really care. This probably runs it back up into 119s. If you're here, again, if you want, you can post in the beginner chat on the Discord room. I'll slide it down. I'll be taking, like, leave questions here. I can see them. Remember, I got now I'm running eight screens here, so I can see. I can see it all. What have you changed sounds better. Don't know if you move something. No, I just kind of tinkered, as y'all know. I like to tinker with stuff. Yeah. All right, TLT. We good with TLT? Does that make sense what we're anticipating? Because at this point, I think the biggest thing the market doesn't like is what? Volatility in interest rates. That's the thing about the market. Like, it likes to know if rates are going to be low. It likes to know if rates are going to be high. It doesn't like volatility because then what? Somebody knows something. Bond market's always ahead of the game. The dollar. Upside target on TLT, 119, 120 near term. I'm answering a question from the Discord room. Again, if you're not a member, let me drop the link real quick. I mean, I tell people this room isn't to, like, I'm not Jim Cramer. I'm not going to sit here and go, shoot me every stock. Buy. Sell. It's more for learning and just kind of picking up on what we're doing. I don't promise to be right all the time. Nobody is a financial advisor here. I have histories of being in finance, but again, I'm not advising you. I'm trying to teach you. I tell people this, whatever, to teach a man to fish, you can catch fish forever. My goal is to teach you how to manage yourself because I'm never going to hit enter and I'm never going to exit for you on your trades. Make sense? The TLT. I've said this 1,000 times. It's going higher. It's just whether you believe it or not. And what have we said a bazillion times? The move of the death of the dollar doesn't start with it going down. It starts with it a rocket shot higher. So check the monthly. We're coming into the range highs above 29, which is like euro parity. And it looks like it's going much higher. I mean, is it, now that I zoom in, do you see this? Does this look like a bearish trend? I don't think so. And you go back to the daily, right? Very clear. Got to get, I mean, if it gets over this 29 area, which it is, let me see if I can get a better, wow, that's such a weird old trend line, isn't it? Look at that little guy. Hey, little guy from the past. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how steep the ascension is on that, but it might be it. It might be it. That's why you have sloppy charts. People who have clean charts, especially the daily chart, they're not seeing. I mean, again, you got to save these lines. Save these lines. Dollar upside, what? Market's not going to like it. Hopefully, take your targets on this. Look at the upside, probably going to 30 near term. Now, again, if it doesn't, what happens? What changes? I don't know. We really can't predict what we don't know. You can just assume it's going to go higher until it shows evidence of not. Now, again, I hate the UUP because for the volume wise, I've seen a lot of anomalies, but high volume at the highs in the UUP, I don't know. Is it distribution? I mean, are the Feds trying to knock the dollar down and it's just like there's just way too much demand? We'll see. The VIX. Again, I apologize that this screen, I literally have 2 screens coming that are going to be right. And now that I'm seeing all this, I'm like, I know exactly where I need to put them for you guys so that when we bounce around. The VIX, what did we say? Y'all remember this, right? We talked about every time you bottom, you have a pop, and then you have a higher low, and then you go. Right? Y'all remember this. I mean, I feel like I'm talking to the regulars. They know. Pop, flop, highs coming. Pop, back up, higher highs coming. You zoom into the now phase. This is where it gets a little squirrely, because as much as I love volatility, I don't want it to go screaming higher because I want to be able to trade around it. And what I mean is trade, take positions off, add them back on. But I don't make the rules. Let's just see what the market's going to do. At this point, you notice when it starts tracking higher, it goes pretty quick, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. Like, it could get there quick. Now, again, I don't know how the futures are going to look when they open, but I've been taking notes and said to myself, held the 20s, going to test the 30s at some point. Will we not agree? It's going up to the 30s. You get what I'm saying? So now you got, this is when, yeah, if you wanted to buy the UVXY, this is when you did it. But again, I just don't know how much higher the UVXY can go. I mean, you got to be late on it. And so think about those 4 green. I mean, not get up to 12 or 13 or 14. Every time it's going to go up, it's going to decay. So just, you got to be careful with that stuff, man. I hate the VIX. Wife is in here. What's up? Outside? No.
Can't find her.
No. Well, lost a cat. We'll just get another one. Just kidding. We'll find her. Yeah, I hear you, Wild Warrior. I tried to warn you nicely, man. I hate those products. I feel like you're winning and you still lose. Now, I said when the UVXY pops, short the crap out of it. You'll get your money back. The VIX, and this is what's interesting, because if you don't pay attention to the VIX of the Qs, what do y'all see here? Does it look like it's about to break the downtrend? Yeah. Now, ideal scenario for us bears would be a backup, because some people took some profit. I took some profit on Friday. Now, very minimal, but if it backs up, I'll pound it and buy more more puts for the tech stocks. SPY. People are like, oh, how do you know it's the top? It's like, come on, please. I don't want to do this every day, every video. But if you watch the Back to Basics series, and again, if somebody can drop that link, I appreciate it. Talk about professional gaps starting the move, right? Professional gaps starting the move. And now, again, it can back up, right? I mean, that's not even a professional gap. I mean, you didn't really get them here, but sometimes you get them more easily off the bottom. Talk about the professional gap. Say, what's the difference between a professional novice gap? Always do the quick. The novice gap is the gap preceding the change in direction. The professional gap starts the move. And what do we talk about? Remember last week? I think that was last Monday. Correct me if I'm wrong. What do we say? Guys, gals, friends, don't chase it. Let it reverberate back up. And then obviously Fed Powell comes out and says everything we talked about, gone. Engulfing bar, game over. Look at the volume opening up, right? I mean, you can pretend. Let me see if you can pretend that this isn't bearish, and that's fine. People do that. Remember we talked about this being the bottom? I mean, the arrow's still there. Now what? I've said it's probably going to do what? And this is the thing that's hard. Probably going to hit the support zone somewhere at 398, 395, 394. How do we draw these zones? Remember, we look at references from the past, right? You go back. This one, why did you not connect all the way, my friend? There you go. Somewhere in there would be the first bounce zone near term. Now, again, if you're in vacation, you probably can just let this go. If it's wave 3, it's going to get absolutely slaughtered. Market's going to get beat. I mean, everybody's still bullish. Keep in mind, though, I'm starting to see, and this is why I love this, is hit here, bounce, slam back down, break the trend line, and everyone's going to start saying, Head and shoulders bottom. Head and shoulders bottom. And that's what we want to see, because I think that might be the stronger bounce, where you come from, say, 380 back up to 400. And then kapow. J-pow. Kapow, Japow. So this could happen quickly. Now, again, I would watch these levels, but we could VIX spike and come right back down. I mean, this is the thing you have to always remember. If everybody's anticipating the same move, is it going to happen? Good question. Probably not. That's my thinking. So do we come right back to the lows? That's always possible too. And this is where it's like great if you're short, because you're in a position where you, more you're up, less you own. Hold your core, trade around your core. I mean, I say this stuff all the time, and most people can't do that. They're all or nothing trading. They don't realize that's the gambling. All or nothing trading is no different than going to casino and betting the same amount every time. Well, if you bet $10 every time you play blackjack, every single hand, well, the odds are not in your favor to win. It just never works like that. Remember, they have a slight edge. Well, we have our edge, but the market makers have an edge if we always play. QQQs, this is where it gets a little uglier. Breaking, getting to 0.382, filling like this gap here. I mean, I personally, I've thought somewhere in this 300 to 298 range, I think would be the near term. And then I would love it to bounce back up to the fib at 308. So think about it, just you know, and this is what I tell people. They're like, oh, but doesn't, you know, they believe in this like market thought process of straight line moves. But the reality is, if you look at the past, and this is where once you study this stuff, you get very comfortable with it, right? Very. Down, and then you pop, and then big down, and then you pop, and then you double top, and then bam, and then you pop, and then down, and then boom, starts the bull market rally. Down and you chop, down and you chop, down and you pop, down some more, and then boom. We're in the early stages where I think the bigger move down is easier. Think about it. Like, we're going to get this choppy, sloppy, and we'll probably retest the lows. It's just how sloppy does it get. Keep in mind, you got September and October can get so sketchy. And October is even better, because now people start locking in for what? Their fourth quarter. They want their yearly bonuses. If they're getting down in September, man, they are gone. People, and when I say they, I'm talking about the average person who is managing money that has some sort of bonus structure. Institutions, hedge funds, whatever. They're going to be nervous. Now, again, so if we don't make an exact low, this is what I would love to see, is hold, say, like 280. Bounce up here. Give the bulls a little bit of hope, thoughts, prayers, and then bam. And I mean like Chef Emerald, bam. Like super slammer. Because this is the thing you have to remember. The market doesn't go in straight lines, but you have to induce the other side to get trapped. Just like all week, last week. Hey, the Bulls, they think they got the W. They think they got the win coming. Friday was fail. Absolute slaughter. And we knew this was coming. We just didn't know when. I mean, if there's anybody here who is in the channel constantly, we talked about this. It's just when. Not if, when. People act like, you can see the future. No, I can see the past real well. I can find the past real well. So, at this point, now what? Let's go look at the IWM. Let's build the chart. Just know your levels. I mean, again, hit pause, zoom in. What do we say? IWM leads. Taking out the lows. All right, you're coming into the support zone, right? Sorry about that. We're coming into the support zone. Does it have to bounce? No. It probably should go below it, then bounce up to it. That's what I want to see. I want to see it come down, then bounce. How low could it go? You know, I think you could probably, I mean, again, I'm trying to draw this on the fly for you guys. I think you could somewhere hold this 178 to 172, because that would be ideal. You can see all the candles it held there. You can see all the lows here. Somewhere in that range. Okay? Somewhere in that range. After that, I don't know. At this point, now what? Like I said, drop, bounce back, induce what? the incorrect actions and go lower. Let's pull up the monthly real quick, because I feel like this is always the magical monthly. It's magical. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why does that screen look like? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why do my screens look crappier? That's not right. Is the resolution gotten worse? Why has the resolution gotten worse? Oh my god. This is painful to watch. I can see what happened to the resolution. YouTube, why are you doing that to me, my friend? Man, this is bad. Let me cancel this and start over real quick. All right, I'll be back.